Canto 7. Summary. Continuing the conversation they began in the previous canto, Sordello and Virgil share their stories. Sordello is humbled and grateful to be meeting Virgil, that glory of the Latin race. He informs them of the rules of the mountain, how the souls there are free to advance and move about during the day, but as soon as night falls, the desire to move forward is taken away. Since night is approaching, and they will no longer be able to continue up the hill, Sordello brings them to a ledge from which they can observe a group of souls in a shallow valley. Dante describes the beauty of the flowers he sees, which is unlike anything experienced here on this side of the world. He hears the souls singing Salve Regina as the sun sets. Sordello begins to point out some of the figures below. They are princes, many of whom were enemies in life, who were distracted from repenting by cares of state. Like those further down, however, they did repent at the end, and so find themselves on the road to paradise. A number of names and their stories are related by Sordello. Canto 7. The Valley of Princes. After the glad and dignified greetings were reiterated 3 or 4 times, Sordello drew back and said, "Who are you?" "Before the souls that are worthy to rise to God above were turned toward this mountain, my bones were buried by Octavian. I am Virgil, and for no other wrong than for not having faith, I lost heaven." In this way, then, my leader made answer. Like the one who suddenly sees a thing before him and marvels, both believing and disbelieving, saying, "It is, it isn't," so did that one appear. Then he bent low and humbly turned toward him and embraced him, there where the inferior one takes hold. "O glory of the Latin race," he said, "through whom our language made known its power, O eternal pride of where I am from, what merit or grace reveals you to me? If I am worthy to hear your words, say if you come from hell, and by what pathway?" "Through all the circles of the grieving realm," he answered. "I have arrived at this place. Heaven's power moves me. With it I come. I, not from things done, but from things not done, lost the sight of the high sun you desire, he who was recognized by me too late. There is a place below, sad not from pain, but from darkness alone, where the laments do not sound at all like screams, but are sighs. There I stay with the innocent infants, who were torn by the teeth of death before they could be exempted from human guilt. There I stay with those who clothed themselves not with the 3 holy virtues, though they knew and followed all the others without vice. But if you know and are able, give us some hint by which we may more quickly come there where Purgatory proper begins." He answered, "No fixed place is given us. I am allowed to go up and around. I will be your guide as far as I can. But see how the day already declines. We are not able to ascend by night. A good place to stay would be well thought of. Here are souls on the right, sitting apart. If you let me, I will lead you to them. Not without joy will they be known to you." "How is that?" he replied. "He who desires to rise by night, would he be impeded by another, or is he unable?" And the good Sordello with his finger drew a line on the ground, saying, "See, this line you would not cross after the sun went down. Not because anything would hinder you from going up, other than the dark night which weaves in the will a lack of power. One could certainly by night go back down and walk wandering about the hillside, while the horizon keeps the day locked up." Then my lord, as though in astonishment, answered, "Therefore lead us there where you say that, staying, one will be able to take joy." We had gone a short distance from that place when I saw the mountain was hollowed out, just like valleys hollow out mountains here. "We will go down to that vale," said the shade, "where the hillside makes of itself a womb, and there we will await the break of day." Between cliff and plain was a winding path that led us to the side of the hollow, there where the slope more than half dies away. Gold and fine silver, crimson and white lead, indigo and timber clear and polished, fresh emerald the moment it is flaked. The color of each one would be surpassed by the grass and flowers placed in that womb, as the less is surpassed by the greater. Nor had nature just painted in that place, but from the sweetness of 1,000 scents she made one there unknown and indistinct. I then saw souls sing Salve Regina, sitting on the green and in the flowers, who could not be seen from outside the veil. Now before the little sun finds its nest, began the Mantuan who had brought us, do not wish that I bring you amongst them. The gestures and expressions of all these you will better recognize from this ledge than if you were seated with them below. He who sits higher with the look of one who neglected what ought to have been done, and moves not his mouth to the other's songs, was Emperor Rudolph, who could have healed the wounds that have lately killed Italy. It is too late for one to revive her. The other one in view who comforts him supported the land where the water springs that Maldot feeds Elbe, and thence the sea. Ottokar was his name, and was better in the bands than his son Wenceslas was in the beard, whom lust and idleness fed. And that small-nosed one, who close in counsel seems with him who bears such a kindly look, died fleeing and deflowering the lily. Look there how he beats upon his own breast. See how the other one has made a bed for his cheek with the palm of his hand, sighing. Father and father-in-law of the bane of France, they know his filthy vicious life, and thence comes the pain that pierces them so. He who seems so well built, and who, singing, harmonizes with the manly-nosed one, was girt with the cord of all worthiness. And if the young boy that sits behind him could have remained king after him, his worth would have gone well from vessel to vessel, which cannot be said of his other heirs. Now James and Frederick hold the kingdoms, but neither owns the better heritage. Rarely does human probity rise up through the branches, and this is willed by him who bestows, that he might be asked for it. My words concern the big-nosed one no less than the other, Peter, who sings with him, whence Apulia and Provence now grieve. The plant is inferior to its seed as much as Constance praises her husband, still more than Beatrice and Margaret. Observe the king who lived a simple life, sitting there alone, Harry of England. He has in his branches better issue. That one who stays among them further down, gazing upward, is William the Marquis, for whom Alexandria and its war make Montferrat and Canavese weep.